Hey Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA. Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby, when pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there, these men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Spring training to you, girls and boys, here on the BCR. As we're set to bring you this game and get you ready for the boys of summer. Opening day is quickly approaching, and there's still a lot of questions to be answered out on the diamond. So kick back and relax. Grab you a cold one as we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play, the classic call of radio baseball. we'll hit the lineups as the game moves on. Wherever you are, we'll take you out to the warm sunshine and the beautiful blue skies of spring training baseball. Make sure to hit that subscribe and set the alerts, as we've got a full docket of spring baseball coming your way leading up to opening day. So with the spring in our step, the wind at our back, and the sun high in the sky, let's put it all aside and head out to the old ballpark. Back, baby, we're back. Welcome back to baseball, boys and girls. How's everybody doing today? I know we'll have people kind of slide in here as we get this game going. Just about to hit first pitch. And real quick, going to go ahead and give you the starting lineups. Leading off for the Yankees. And behind the plate is Wells. Double check on him. Here we go. Make sure we had the sound check. Everybody rocking and rolling. Batting second. Playing short. Caballero. Batting third. Playing second base. Jazz Chisholm. Caballero playing short. I think I might have flip-flopped that. Med Rosario is at third base and batting cleanup. Then you've got Ramirez at first. He'll be followed by Luciano in left field, Ellis in right, Corona in center, and Sanchez is the designated hitter for the Baltimore Orioles. It'll be Henderson leading off and playing short. Pete Alonso, the ex-New York Met, now a Baltimore Oriole, batting second, playing first. Basalo's behind the plate, as Rushman will be the DH today. Basalo's batting third. Tyler O'Neill, the ex-Red Sox, ex-Cardinal, in right. And Colton Cowser's in center field. Adley Rushman, we just mentioned him, the designated hitter, followed by Kierstad. Mayo at third, Kierstad left, and Jackson at second. Trevor Rogers will be the man on the bump for the Baltimore Orioles. And for the New York Yankees, they're going to turn to Rodriguez. Elmer Rodriguez, 6'3", 160-pounder, right-hander. We're just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, the classic call, Major League Baseball. Good to see everybody in the chat. Real quick, see John, Uncle Charlie, Richard, James, the Fisher King. James, we got the check in the mail. Thank you, sir. Deb Upcroft. Deb, good to see you. And as soon as we get rolling here, we're curious to see if the 3D, I seriously doubt they've ever had the 3D before in spring training, but we're curious to see, because it looks a little different than it had, but I don't believe it's going to take place. That's something they have to install into the actual stadium. Let's go ahead and pull this off. And we'll probably be in touch behind this. But yes, sir, it is baseball time in the major leagues. And the first pitch on the way is outside high. Called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 lefty-lefty matchup. Takes and fires, swing and miss. Rips it right down the plate. It's 0-2. Out. Still trying to time everything up and knock the rust off. We've added a ton of new stuff for the openings of the games, more that you'll see during the regular season. The 0-2 kicks and fires, swing, swats that back foul. Do it again. So an 0-2 count. Caballero standing on deck. Good stiff breeze coming in from the outfield. The 0-2 pitch swing, pops it up. Can of corn, but they'll be fighting the sun and the wind and coming over, making a good catch on the fly. is Basallo, and there's one away. You'll expect to see a ton of changes, not just in the pitching today, but also your full-time starters, guys like Pete Alonso. Expect them to get a couple at bats, and then they'll get them out of the game. We are going over to Chicago versus Chicago at 3 o'clock as the first pitch on the way. Lefty-righty matchup right there. Slaps at the knees. 1-0 count, Jose Caballero. Last season batted .236 on the year with 5 home runs. Lefty-righty. And pitch inside, bringing 94. 2-0. 2-0 count. Yankees nothing, Orioles nothing, just getting going here in the top of the first. The 2-0 right there at the knees, 2-1. We'll be a touch behind what you see on the screen. There's not a lot I can do about that. It's just the way it's always been with the... If you find a quicker feed, we'll bring it to you, but it is what it is. The 2-1 pitch, swing fouls it back. So a 2-1 count. Uncle Charlie and John in mid-season form, chatting it up. The 2-2 pitch, swing, slices it over to the right side of the infield. Getting over there and making the play is Jackson. He'll flip it to Alonso, and there's quickly 2 down. 4-3 on your putout if you're scoring it. Great day for baseball. Expected to be in the mid-70s and sun shining. First pitch on the way, lefty-lefty to Jazz Chisholm. Most of y'all should know him. It's one out. Pitch was a little bit high and inside. The 1-0 pitch. Man, that wind is really whipping. Take some tires, swing. Miss. A lot of production done this year in the off season. We'll end up with at least 300 new commercials come opening day. We're trying to save a lot of those for opening days. The 1-1 swing, lace it into right field. That's down for a base hit, and the New York Yankees have something going here with 1 on and 2 out. Jazz Chisholm getting the first base hit of the spring. At least as far as these two teams are concerned. We'll try to keep you up to date with what's going on around the league. There's about 6 games going on today.
Let's go Yankees! Let's go Yankees! Let's go Yankees!
Lefty-righty matchup. And that'll bring Rosario to the plate. Ned Rosario batting .276 on the year last year with 6 home runs, 63 games between Washington and New York. Takes the first pitch for a strike. It's 1-1. The 0-1. Fastball misses on the outer edge. 1. We got the ABS system challenge back in play here in the spring training, and it goes official into Major League Baseball on opening night, which is Wednesday night. I believe that's the 25th of March. These New York Yankees and the San Francisco Giants out in California. Pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 1-2. 0-0 your score. Top of the first. 2 outs, 1 on. The infield playing pretty honestly up the middle. 1-2 pitch, swing, slices that foul, we'll do it again. The 1-2. I'll flip it over to first real quick. So that ABS challenge, for those of y'all who don't remember how it works, teams are going to have 2 challenges and keep those challenges as long as they are correct. The 1-2 pitch, swing lifts it into left field, drifting back near the track at the wall and camping underneath it just at the edge of the warning track for a loud out number 3. The catch out there by Kierstad fighting the wind. We'll be back in a flash. Pitch by pitch, play by play. The Birds grab the bats. Orioles and Yankees on opening day, spring training style.
I'm going to go ahead and say, if a man cheats, he needs 5 points deducted from his credit score. Because, Dan, if I can't trust you, why should the bank?
Man, ain't this the truth? White clubs be free and fun. Black clubs might be $40 and you might die. Where the lie at? You go to a white club, somebody in the back gonna holler, "Hey, all drinks on me." You go party with the black people. Even the gun sounds in the songs make you nervous, boy. You can walk in a white club and make a lot of friends. A lot of friends. You go to a black club and have a potential opposition. You go to a white club, they got a dress code to make sure you ain't got no weapons on you. You go to a black club, you can wear a size 60 pants with a rocket launcher on your hip, and they gonna act like they didn't feel it. At white clubs, they make flyers and stuff. Hey, man, you wear Aeropostales and Sperry's, you get in free. Then you hear it at our clubs, look, ladies free all night and make sure y'all fellas bring that bag, you heard me?
Y'all, can somebody explain to me why my wife can't remember where she put her hair tie, but she can remember something I said on December 21st of 2021 at 6:40 p.m.?
Football demonstrates the manic division of labor that makes life confusing and I should think unsatisfying. I mean, who wants to grow up to be a third and long yardage pulling guard?
I once had to think of 99 reasons why baseball was better than football. I already had an assignment to do a magazine piece on that topic, and I thought it would take me a long time to write it, but I finished before lunch. It really isn't difficult. I think the first thing is that baseball has no halftime. Then it has no bands at halftime.
It may be that the most American thing about baseball is that it, as we, the fans, take it, it is a refuge from America. I think that when we go to baseball, we are going away from the America of our daily lives. We go to something that we now consider pastoral. It seems to us historic and connected with the past.
In addition, football combines the 2 worst features of modern American life. It's violence punctuated by committee meetings.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Henderson is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup to start off the inning. The 0-1. Swing, chops it foul. Over towards the first base side. It's 0-2. Tomorrow, 12:45 p.m., we've got Braves versus Tampa Bay Rays as the Braves start their spring training season. The game is in the Tampa Bay Ray facility as the 0-2 pitch swing fouls it down the line and out of play. We'll do it again. As the Rays are going to return home, they got their Tropicana Park fixed. If you haven't seen the pictures, it's kind of funny because people are calling it a circus tent because of the colorization. You just have to see it for yourself. What it looks like inside is the 0-2 inside. This is 1 and 2. It's a tan and white striping, but striping like you would see in a circus tent. It's going top to bottom. 1-2 count. Swing. Chops it up to the mound. That should be an easy 1-3 it is. And there's one away. One up, one down. Righty-righty matchup. That'll bring the polar bear, Pete Alonso, to the plate, who came over in the offseason. The 0-1 pitch. On a swing and a miss. The 0-1 kicks and fires, swing. Chops it over towards first. That's going to be an easy G3. On the play is Martinez. And there's quickly 2 down. 0-0 your score. We're here in the bottom of the first inning. Yankees versus Orioles. If you're just joining us, the Yankees did get Jazz Chisholm on first base in the first inning, and that was it. Salo stands in, first pitch on the way, outside wide for ball. It's 1-0. Aaron Judge not in the lineup today. You'll see that a lot when the stars of the road team take a seat. Sometimes they do travel and sometimes they don't. Haven't had a chance to peer into the dugout yet. The 1-0. Swing, chops it foul. 1-1. A lot of times they'll stay back at their own home camp. But that dugout looks pretty full. It looks like standing room only over there for the Orioles. The Yankees, they have not shown yet. And you typically get your stars to play at home in the spring games because they don't have to travel and they want to get their work in. It's the 1-1 off the plate wide. It's ball 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Kicks and fires, swing, slaps it back foul. 2-2. I think this screen might be a little better. We're going to adjust it at the break. So a 2-2 count. Rodriguez comes set, his 12th pitch. And swing and a miss, strike three. Got him with the high cheese, and that'll end the inning. We'll be back in a flash. Oh, the Orioles and Yankees. Second inning we go. Here in Spring Training 2026 opener.
I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something.
I live over in Big Clifty. You don't want to move to Big Clifty. Big Clifty's that town in the county that makes first responders say, damn it, when they get the call. Somebody tells you they're from Big Clifty, you about hate to hear it for them. You about sorry they got stuck over there. Like, what could have gone wrong for them to where they had to live in Big Clifty? I love Big Clifty. So if you buy into one of these modular homes from the land company, please do not be setting the bar high here in Big Clifty.
I want my money! I want my money!
All right.
I want my money! Give me my money! I'm gonna call the police! I'm gonna call everybody! It's not right!
Hey. This is what that betting do, man. He won his money and he won it now.
Number 7.
Coming in to pitch for the Redbirds, number 42, Bruce Sutter.
Hall of Famer Bruce Sutter led the league in saves 4 straight years.
Gets him swinging, and Bruce Sutter has a 1-2-3 inning.
That movement came from Sutter's specialty, the split-fingered fastball.
Watch the bottom fall out of this. Look at that. That's a tough pitch.
Sutter's splitter revolutionized the game, setting the standard for those who would follow.
Sutter gets so many hitters out and pitches out of the strike zone. You just can't lay off the split finger.
Would say if it's waist high, don't swing at it.
Well, there goes the bottom again.
It was so much easier said than done.
In just 12 seasons, Bruce saved 300 games, won the Cy Young Award in '79, and won it all in '82.
And that's the winner! A World Series winner for the Cardinals!
Pull up a chair and grab a cold. Your home for the Classic Ball Radio Baseball. Welcome back. Lefty-lefty matchup as Rogers does go back out there for a second inning. First pitch on the way is swung on and fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Martinez at the plate. The 0-1. Ernesto Martinez Jr. I should say Martinez Jr., but we usually shorten those. Pitch misses high and outside, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss, 1-2. We'll be sprinkling some of the new clips in throughout the spring games as John's already picked up on one. That one was pretty damn funny. But as far as the pregame stuff, it's going to have a much different look this year as the 1-2. Caught, looking strike three, top of the zone, right there for a strike. Good pitch by Rogers. 1 down. First pitch, lefty-righty matchup as Luciano comes to the plate. Takes it down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Marco Luciano from the Dominican Republic. 25-year-old, swing and a miss, 1-1. 1-1 count. Rocks and fires, swing and a miss. Look like the high cheese, 1-2. Trevor Rogers expected to be in the rotation. It'll be a mixed grab bag for some of these teams. Some guys you'll see in the first weekend that they do expect to be in the rotation. Some guys, they're going to slow roll it. But Rogers came over in a trade from the Marlins as the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Punched him out with the hard heat down the pipe. 2 down. And he was pretty impressive. He's always been pretty good. He had a couple of stumbles in Miami. And Baltimore felt like they could fix him, and it looks like they have. I was just glad to see him get the heck out of the NL East. First pitch on the way is a slider at the knees. It's 0-1. I'm sure they'll announce it today, but I've yet to see who the Braves are expecting to start tomorrow. Is the 0-1 pitch, swing, chops it down the line, foul. It's 0-2. Double check it right now. See if there's been anyone announced. The 0-2 count. Just misses outside, 1-2. Try to catch the outer part of the zone. Doesn't look like either team has announced their starter yet. And a lot of times you won't get it until the very morning of the game is the 1-2. Outside, wide, 2-2. We start getting more indications of what's really going on. Is the 2-2. Swing, slices it back, foul. So nothing else, he's making them work. Be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. The 2-2 count just misses. Full count. They're making some adjustments too in the broadcasting because of the ABS system. Found it pretty interesting what they announced is the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. We'll talk about it when we come back, but you're going to get a different look for those of y'all who follow along with the ball game at home. 0-0 your score, bottom of the second. Orioles grab the sticks when we return.
Y'all, is it just me or does it seem like everything costs like we shopping at an airport now?
Say the weird thing.
In the 2006 movie Idiocracy, they were trying to figure out what kind of footwear would people in the future, in this future filled with morons, what footwear would they have, and what could they do on the small budget that they had at the time. According to the director, the wardrobe designer came across this website with the ugliest plastic shoes she had ever seen. It had like holes in them. And it said, we should use these, they're perfect. We can get a bunch of them super cheap. And Judge said, well, what if they become super popular? Then it won't feel like it's from the future. And her response was, they're so ugly, there's no way anyone will ever wear these. They were Crocs.
I was going over the proposed budget for Q2.
Yeah, wait, hold on, Kate. Sorry. Oh, Amanda, you go.
Brian, what is in your coffee cup?
It's just my iced coffee.
No, Brian, we can clearly see there's a beer can in there with just a straw in it.
Okay, well, it's after hours, right? I mean, I don't...
Not after hours. Our work ends at 5, and it's currently 3 o'clock.
So I put it on my calendar. I'm on the West Coast this week, and
that would make it worse. That would make it noon where you are.
Okay, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I mean, I don't know what...
Either way, you cannot drink on a company call. This is on company time.
All right, well, maybe Matt can just I don't know.
You're literally slurring your words right now, Brian. And stop drinking.
When you talked to Earl Weaver, he would put you right in the middle of the baseball situation that you wanted to talk about as a writer, and he would tell you everything that was involved. And usually when he was doing this, he would be stark naked in his office and eating a leg of chicken or something like this, but a little pint-sized man with no clothes on talking baseball.
I'll always remember Earl sitting in the dugout before a game with a cigarette cupped in his hand like a little boy sneaking a smoke, and his fingers all yellowed by the smoke, telling a story and not realizing that they were playing the national anthem. And after the national anthem, I apologized. I'm sorry I'm still here. And he turned to me and he said, relax, kid, don't worry. We do this every day.
Welcome back. 0-0 your score. We're going to head to the bottom of the second inning. The Baltimore Orioles grabbed the sticks. First pitch was way outside wide for a ball, 1-0. Rodriguez, who's back out there, his 14th pitch, missed down and away. Ball 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Swing, rips it into left field, and that's down for a base hit. Good smack over the infield. And it's a leadoff single for the Baltimore Orioles. One on, nobody out. First base hit of the spring by the Baltimore Orioles, and Colton Cowser to the plate. They're expecting him to have a big bounce back year as the first pitch on the way is swung on and sliced back foul to 1. You'll see more of a difference in the pregame for the regular season. There's a slight difference in the spring training in the WBC, but we don't do as long of pre-games as the 0-1 right there for a strike. That did not call it a strike. Okay, 1-1. That is one you could challenge, but doesn't look like they're going to. So when you talk about the ABS that's coming into play, and you talk about how that's going to change things dramatically, one of the things they're changing in the broadcast is that when you are watching the game and you have the strike zone that's always been up there, you're going to get the balls into the strike zone on your television screen. But what you're not going to get is the 0-2 pitch to Cowser. Down and away, 1-2. This makes sense when you've seen it in the past. The ball would, there would be the box on the screen, and then there would be a dot where the ball landed. And you would get a pretty good idea of where it's at. That's going away. So you'll still see the box on the screen as the 1-2 pitch swing, chops it over to first. That's going to be a relay of a 3-6-1. Just beat it out. Good hustle by Cowser. Almost turned a double play by the Yankees. But instead, they'll switch places. And he'll stand at first, 1 on, 1 out. So O'Neill heads back to the bench. Cowser standing at first. The Orioles would gladly trade out that speed. As the first pitch on in to Adley Rutschman, designated hitter today, not behind the plate. It's 1-0. A 1-0 count. Righty-lefty matchup. Down and in, ball 2-0. And the reason why they're doing that is that they don't want anybody to have the ability to see it quickly. Now, when you do an ABS challenge, it has to be within like a second or two of the actual pitch is the 2-0 right there at the knees, 2-1. And it has to come from either the pitcher, the catcher behind the plate, pitcher on the mound, or the batter. They can't get any assistance anywhere else. So that's the main reason why they're doing it, to prevent cheating. Is we'll flip it over first real quick. If you're being extremely quick, I think it's going to be really hard to cheat on that. Of course, where there's a will, there's a way. But one of the biggest things that they're going to be doing is the 2-1 count. Rodriguez steps off the bump. There is something that people are not aware of that's a little different in this rule, this new rule. If the umpire thinks you got any assistance from anywhere, they do not have to accept the challenge. So we're going to see some fireworks with that, believe me. It's going to be a big part of a game. As Cowser's dancing back and forth off of first, and the 2-1's below the knees. 2-2. Now, they don't have the box right now on the game I'm calling it from, but that's mainly because spring training, you don't get, depending on the broadcast, you don't always get that box. 3-1 count. Swing, slice it back foul, 3-2. That's a good one, Chuck. So a 3-2 count, 1 on, 1 out. Rushman digging in against Rodriguez, righty-lefty, as Cowser's bouncing back and forth. He goes. The pitch on the way. Swing. Rips it over towards into right field. That's through for a base hit. And with the runner on the go, he'll end up first to third. And the Orioles got something going here. Runners on the corners. And 1 away. So a good hit and run there by the Orioles. So 1 out, runners on the corners. 0-0 your score. Baltimore threatening here in the bottom of the second. As they're going to have a mound visit, we can talk more about the ABS, but it's happening, and it's going to happen early in the season. Somebody's going to get denied the right to challenge because they think they had got assistance from somebody, and it's going to add to the spice of it. For those who may have missed it, Chris Sale said he will not be challenging any of the ABS period. But this is Chris Sale doing things a little different. And the reason why I say that is Chris Sale, remember, is the first pitch on the way, is outside wide to Kierstad. This is high for a ball, it's 1-0. He famously told people, I think the first time he mentioned it was a couple of years ago, but he reiterated it last year, that he does not shake off his catchers. The 1-0 up top for a strike, 1-1. If you're wondering why he's saying he won't challenge, he said, I'm too greedy. I think everything's a strike. I want everything to be a strike, so I'm going to leave it up to my catchers, what he's saying. So he's not saying they won't challenge, but he's going to leave it up to his catcher. And he just wants his mind free to pitch, but I don't hate that argument. It's the 1-1, swing and miss, it's 1-2. And it's much more difficult. I think most teams would be smart to do this, leave it up to the catcher, because it's much more difficult for a pitcher to discern if it was a ball or a strike, because their head, everything's moving during is the 1-2 pitch, swing, chops it on the ground. It's going to be a 4, 6, 3, stretches, got the double play. So the Yankees get out of the jam. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the third we go, 0-0 here in the spring.
No meat, just eggs.
Yeah, with sliced apple.
How do you like your eggs?
Hatched.
What?
You want them scrambled?
Scrambled, yeah.
You would have to have them.
Did he say hatched?
No.
And the sky is the limit for baseball salaries. The highest paid player of the week is now Roger Clemens of Boston. 5 years, $7.5 million.
Dwight Gooden has something to celebrate as well after receiving plenty of money from the New York Mets. In fact, the right-hander became the highest-paid player in the big leagues after he signed a 3-year, $6.7 million contract.
Ryne Sandberg is calling Chicago the city with big pockets. The Cubs' great second baseman has signed the biggest contract ever in baseball. He could make about $7 million a year.
What in the knuckles is this?
She's my girlfriend, you intolerant.
Whoa! Pump the hate brakes, Fox and Friends. I'm just surprised anyone would date you.
Kids today, they go, how much is your baseball card worth? And I'm going, a plug nickel, son, a plug nickel. I'm saying be your own person. Do not collect baseball cards. It will be the ruination of you. Maybe you'll learn economics a little bit or you'll learn what value is, but you're being an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur takes something of no value and makes money on it. And I do not believe in that in the kids. I teach them right off the bat. Learn the game. Do not look at Youppi. Do not look at the chicken. Do not look at that. Look at the ground ball. Field it cleanly with both hands. Be as smooth as silk. You know, make the nice throw to second. Have the nice breaking curveball. Subtract on the changeup. See the ball and hit it. Don't associate with the other things of the game. It will eventually bring you down, eat you up, and spit you out.
Welcome back. First pitch from Aiken. Misses outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Aiken in, relieving Trevor Rogers. 1-0 pitch. Fires a strike up top right around the letters. 1-1. Keegan Aiken, 6 foot, 240 pounder, southpaw. Fires the 1-1 outside to him. From Alma, Michigan. Drafted by the Orioles in the second round back in 2016 out of Western Michigan. The 2-1 count, swing and a miss. Just over the top, 2-2. Last year in 64 appearances, had a 3.41 ERA, 63 innings, 59 strikeouts. The 2-2. Swing, chops it off his instep. We're having a baseball tournament, college baseball tournament at the Texas Rangers field today. And Florida State has taken a 3-0 lead over Michigan, but that's not the story. Is the 2-2 outside wide, 3-2. Noah Sheffield just collected an RBI, and he is the son of Gary Sheffield. The payoff pitch, swing, rips it down the line, foul, into the corner, left field side. Full count, 0-0, top of the third. Nobody on, nobody out. They've got a handful of ex-big leaguers whose son has gone to Tallahassee. I don't know what the reasoning for it is. I don't have time to follow their program like I used to. As the pitch on the way is down and away, ball 4. And he'll head on down to first. Lefty-righty matchup as Sanchez takes the first pitch in. It's 1-0. Count, swing, fouls it back. The 1-1, swing and a miss. They're going to fire it down to first, and the ball gets away off of Pete Alonso, but it'll stay within arm's length, so the runner will stay put. Ballo trying to catch the runner napping over there. He's going to have to understand, though, Pete Alonso, man, he is famously not a great defensive first baseman. You're going to take quite the risk. Firing it down there. One-two count. Brings it up top, misses high. 2-2. Thirteen pitches in this inning for Aiken so far. The 3-2 caught looking, dropped a little slider down on the outer track, and it just kissed the black. One away, good pitch by Aiken. The other thing was they got the announcement the other day that Tiger Woods' son is going to go play golf at Florida State. And I'm really surprised by that, considering that Tiger went to Stanford. As the first pitch on the way is right there for a strike. It's on one. And FSU has always had a good golf program, but I just would have thought he would end up somewhere, at least in that area. I know Tiger lives in Orlando, so that might have a lot to do with it. Is the 0-1 swing and a miss? It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. And I know zero about the golf program, I can tell you that. The 0-2 count. Lefty-lefty. Here's the pitch. Swing. Slices it foul. Good to see some of the other folks who have jumped in the chat. We got Jeremy. I know I saw Richard. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Pulled the changeup that time on Wells. 2 down. 2 down, and that'll bring Caballero, the number 2 hitter, the shortstop, the New York Yankees, to the plate. Top of the next hour, we'll be heading out to the Cactus League to bring you Cubs versus White Sox. First pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Coming to you live on Braves Country Radio, for those of y'all who might be listening on external radio. Braves Country Radio on YouTube, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. The 0-1 right there for a strike. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count, swing, soft line drive out there to short. Henderson, he'll hop, not sure if he had to, but that'll be L6 in your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. We'll be back in a flash. 0-0 your score. Bottom of the third we go. The Birds grab the bats when we return.
I'm finna tell y'all why y'all should never delete. Let me tell you why. One day I posted it and it had like 10 views in an hour. So I was kind of mad about that, but I went to sleep and I woke back up, and guess how many views I had? 11. That could be you, okay?
Would you like to take us fishing and tell us life lessons and stories about your childhood?
I got a better idea. Why don't you boys go dig a hole and I'll get another beer?
Someone didn't love you enough when you were little, did they?
Good call.
Tragic.
Little investment advice. Bip Roberts, 1986 rookie card.
worth about $275. 20 years from now, who knows? 1,000, 2,000, might even go.
Bip, man, you were looking at robbing robbers. It says here your car's worth 4 cents.
Yo, T, 4 cents if it's in excellent condition, but 10 cents if it's totally mint.
Dad, Mom says I have to remind you to behave yourself through the holidays.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Mom says you know how people are and you should just keep quiet and just be nice.
How come people don't remember how I am? How come they can't learn to shut the up and be nice in my house? Let's try that.
We have these unreasonable expectations of all baseball heroes. We want them to be good at life as well as good at baseball. If you think about it, it's unfair. It's hard enough to expect them to play baseball well. I'm convinced there is the same division in baseball that there is in life itself, of true heroes, of people of strong principle, of ordinary everyday people, of rogues, of weaklings. Pete Rose turned out to be extremely fallible.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Oh, 1 count to the right-handed bat of Mayo from Rodriguez, and that pitch will miss outside wide. Looked like they gave him a check swing strike. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Swing, slices it up the middle just under the glove of Rodriguez. It'll be a 4-3 put out as Jazz Chisholm is there. And away. 0-0 your score, bottom of the third. Jackson, the batter, righty-righty matchup. Right there at the bottom of the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Rodriguez, 33 pitches in. It'll be interesting to see if they keep him in for the full inning. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Nasty changeup. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Jeremiah Jackson, I should correct myself, is the 0-2 pitch to JJ. Swing, slaps it up right side. Jazz Chisholm's right there. 4-3 on the put out. And 2 down. Two up, 2 down, and the leadoff batter, Gunnar Henderson, shortstop, back at it. The first pitch on the way. He'll lift it into center field. That's down for a base hit, and it's a leadoff single, or excuse me, a 2-out single for the Birds. Pitch on the way is a cutter up top to Pete Alonso, the number 2 hitter. Right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Assuming John's still talking about what the Twins are doing, some kind of a promotion for their ball games. As the 0-1 misses outside wide 1. Would you say season tickets for $299, standing room, which folks are not familiar with that. That just means that you don't get a seat, but you get into an area where you can catch the game. The 1-1 swing, pops it up. High and out of play. But typically, when you get those standing room tickets, unless the place is packed, you'll find a seat. If nothing else, they usually have little bars and high tops and whatnot that you can sit in. The 1-2 count, runner at first, 2 outs. Lonzo digging in. Here's the pitch. Swing, slaps that back foul. They went with the high fastball. You can go up there and get that. Every Saturday home game, $2 beers. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen there. The 1-2. Down below the knees, 2-2. John, did you move to Minnesota? Why are you talking about going to get Twins home season tickets? The 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing, lifts it into center field, going back, making the diving catch at the warning track for a loud out number 3. Wow, Corona got on his horse, squeezed the lime in there, and he got the out. We'll be back in a flash. Yankees and Orioles, 0-0. Top of the 4th we go.
What do you hear about the $1.50 slices?
I'm gluten-free. I have nothing to say, so.
What a f***ing nightmare.
December 28th, Woodrow Wilson was born in 1856. The 28th president of the U.S., his progressive ideas came at a huge cost to our constitutional republic. Wilson advocated for a transformative view of government. He believed government must grow and adapt to regulate new economic realities and promote social justice. Thus, the Constitution should be viewed as a living document that evolves over time. Wilson believed that the framers' emphasis on natural rights and limited government was suited to an earlier era, but insufficient for dealing with the complexities of modern industrial society. This led to significant shifts in the role of the federal government, including expanded regulatory powers and laying the groundwork for an administrative nanny state, fundamentally changing the relationship between citizens and their government.
The good news about erectile dysfunction is that it can be cured with diet and exercise. The hard part is getting your wife to diet and exercise.
Yep, I thought I wanted a family, but I love having no responsibilities here. I can get drunk whenever, sleep with anyone, and just hide in my house and avoid the world if I feel like it.
Wow, that's great. And totally doesn't sound like symptoms of clinical depression.
You could probably come up with a lot of reasons why St. Louis is known as such a great baseball town. But at the center, without a doubt, are all the great teams and all the great players who've come through the city. All of them, in a way, timeless. All of them very much products of their own eras, too. But in the 80s, there was a group of players led by a manager who even now all stand out for being a little different than all the others. You just don't see baseball played the way the 1980s Cardinals played the game anymore. Imagine a team today finishing at the bottom of the league in home runs, stealing at least 200 bases total along the way, and then winning the pennant. Crazy, right? Well, the Cardinals did that 3 times in the 80s, and it won't surprise you, it hasn't happened since.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way is right there for a strike from Garcia facing Jazz Chisholm. It's 0-1 righty-lefty matchup. Chisholm 1 for 1 on the day with the single in the first. The pitch. Fastball, 95 miles an hour. That thing looked like might have been hitting a little harder than that. That pitch was sizzling. 1-1. Inside, cutter misses, ball 2-2. Two-one count, swing and a miss, 94 right off the. I'm telling you, that ball is exploding out of the hand of Garcia. Rico Garcia from Honolulu, Hawaii. As the 2-2 pitch misses high, ball 3-3. played with Colorado, San Francisco, Baltimore, Oakland, and Washington. Last year, he was with the Mets, the Yankees, and the Orioles. He's a 3-2, fouls it back. He had one bad outing with the Yankees, and they cut him loose. 2 2/3 innings and 3 earned runs, but after that, the payoff pitch, fouls it away, we'll do it again. The Mets had him for 8 appearances, 12 2/3 innings and a 2.13 ERA, and then Baltimore picked him up for 20 appearances, 19 innings, and a 2.84 ERA. Payoff pitch, misses high and out of the zone, ball 4. So Jazz works his way aboard, and the Yankees trying to scratch the first run across here in the spring. 0-0 your score. We're in the top of the first. 1 on and nobody out. Med Rosario coming to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch, swing and a miss. He was going for the downs on that one. Got nothing. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky, can of corn coming over, making the running catch. A difficult play, but Pete Alonso catches the ball in foul territory, sliding in, backhanded catch. 1 away. He is always, Pete Alonso is always, if nothing else, entertaining while playing defense over there at first. I know Mets fans probably won't miss all the, whew, thank God he caught that over a 162 game season. First pitch to Martinez, right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Struck out in the second inning. Swing, lifts it, high into center field, drifting back, making the catch at the wall right in front of the Budweiser sign for a loud out number 2. That wind is really wreaking havoc on the defenders. A good catch out there by Cowser. Garcia looking in. Pitch on the way to Luciano. The slider off the plate. It's 1-0. 1-0. See Joyce and Pete in the chat. Good to see you. Gary the Real McCoy. The 1-0 pitch. Up top. Misses. 2-0. I haven't seen anything, Gary. We signed up for several of those tickets. Is the 2-0 swing and a miss, 2-1. I would think if they were going to do it, they would have already done it at this point. I know they had something down there in spring training the first week down there. Forget what they called it. It wasn't a Braves Fest type thing. It's the 2-1 right there, first strike, 2-2. But it was kind of a fan appreciation type day or something. Something was going on down there, so they might have taken all that stuff down there to hand out. The 2-2. Outside wide, 3-2. person sending that swag back is probably the same person who I'm thinking John's involved in that, because he's always telling me something's in the mail. The payoff pitch, swing, pops it up high in the sky. This will be F7 in your scorecard. If it ever comes down, it does. And Kierstad will grab it, and that'll end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Orioles grab the sticks. 0-0 your score here in the Grapefruit League.
If you're thinking about abandoning your wife and kid, this is a great time of year to do so. From what I've seen on the Hallmark Channel, a young, wealthy bachelor businessman is going to swoop into town around Christmas and be willing to give up everything for a middle-aged single mom in debt with no future. This guy's going to be like, why would I want to run my father's billion-dollar business when I could decorate Christmas trees for a living and exist in poverty? Sure, we won't be able to afford groceries, but we can get our calories by sipping hot chocolate. What I'm trying to say is leaving your wife and kid is one of the most romantic things you can do.
Ma'am, why did you park here? Because that sign says fine for parking.
Suspect has a mouthful of teeth like chiclets.
As soon as suspect gets a cough, he thinks he's out for the whole day.
When suspect twerks, it looks like an uncooked chicken shaking.
Suspect is already out of breath and he just started.
Suspect has a skin tag for a pinky toe. It's not.
You know what your problem is? Your standards are too high.
I went out with you.
That's because my standards are too low.
First day of free agency, the Cubs made me an offer. Sure enough, it was the same offer they made at the All-Star break, and kind of brought up the, well, you said I never won 20 games or a Cy Young, that's why you can't pay me more. Well, I just did it. And they said no. Then I knew it was time to find another place to play.
At some point along the way, it seemed that the Cubs were cooling on him, which is, they'll never live that down.
His agent was Scott Boras, and I think, as we've seen, if these Boras clients get on the market at 26, 27, it's going to be an auction.
Welcome back. 0-0 your score. Jake Bird on. Take over for the Yankees on the mound. Pitch misses down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 swing. Slaps it foul towards the dugout. 1-1. You know, John, you bring up a good point, though, about that. I didn't see the same thing that you did. So I believe Asala broke his bat on that swing. So he's going to grab a new one. 1-1 count, 0-0 your score, bottom of the fourth inning. Is that, I wonder what it could be, because I bet a bunch of that stuff had Brave Fest, stamped on it. So you're going to get a bunch of junk that says 2026 Braves Fest, right? And you're like, but that never happened. I didn't go to it. 1-1 count, swing and a miss, 1-2. Curveball down. Some of the stuff that I saw prior to it being canceled, everything that I saw had this one little, it was like a little badge that they put together that said 2026 Braves Fest. Is the 1-2, swing and a miss. Strike three. One away. One count. Tyler O'Neill, who's 1 for 1 on the day, takes the first pitch down and away. 1-0. Cubs and White Sox coming your way at the top of the hour. This is the 1-0. Right there at the knees. 1-1. I guess that's what they'll put on ESPN Sunday nights. Is the reruns of the Olympic hockey. Is the 1-1 pitch. Swing, rolls it down the first base line. That's going to stay fair. Rosario let it roll because no real chance of getting the runner. That'll be a 1-out single, infield single for the Baltimore Orioles. Tyler O'Neill on. Man, he's standing next to Martinez over there at first base. And there's got to be a 5-inch difference in their height. First pitch down and in to Colton Cowser. That's 1-0. It's not quite, but it reminds you of some of the, when you would see Altuve stand next to Aaron Judge. I have to look up and see what his dimensions are, because he is towering over O'Neill. He's 6'6". Maybe Tyler O'Neill's a little shorter than I realized. Okay, so he's 5'10". I bet he's lying about that. It looks like 5'9" on a 6'8". They just challenged the last ball, and it was confirmed. As Cowser challenged it, that pitch was nowhere near the zone. So a 2-0 count, righty-lefty matchup, runner at first, 1 out. Pitch on the way, right there for, whoa, that looked like a strike. It's a little hard to tell because they don't have the box up on the screen. It's really difficult to go by what you see on your screen because they're not usually all that accurate. The 3-0, swing, pops it up, out of play, 3-1. Count. Tosses a curveball in there. 3-2. Full count. Pitch swung on and foul back out of play. We'll do it one more time. Tomorrow we got the Braves versus the Rays. It's a 1 o'clock start. And they're not being broadcasted the next couple of days after that. We have a full slate for you next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The Braves are right here on the BCR. Full count pitch on the way. Swing, fouls that back. We'll do it one more time. Yankees nothing. Orioles nothing. Bottom of the 4th inning. Bird comes set. The pitch. Swing, rips it up the middle, but right there, stepping on second, they're going to turn a double play. Put it 6-3 in your scorecard. Colson bangs into 2. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the 5th we go. 0-0 here in the Cactus League.
You'll be in the interview and they're like, oh, I see a gap in your resume. And it's like, yeah, I see a gap in your staff. Like, we know what mine is about. I wasn't working. What the hell wasn't working here that you needed to hire people so many times for so long?
Whoever made the thing on Microsoft Teams where when you're away from your computer for like 30 seconds, the little circle goes to yellow next to your name so your boss can see that you're not actively at your computer? You.
Celebrations. How about celebrations after success while a sports player is getting paid to succeed? How's that? Celebrations after success when a professional athlete getting paid hundreds and millions or millions and millions of dollars are paid to do just that. And they celebrate every time they do it. That's what you're getting paid for.
beat around the bush. Where does that come from? And that's quite an easy one. I think it was first ever used in the 1400s, and it's literally is what it says on the tin: beating around bushes. In those days, when you're hunting birds and game, you'd be going through your woodland or your land, and you'd be beating with a stick or whatever implement you use to flush animals out. Beating around a bush.
Under Weaver's leadership for 14 full seasons, the Orioles would win or come in second 12 times, win 4 pennants and 1 world championship. In 1968, pitchers dominated as never before. 1 out of every 5 games played that year was a shutout. Bob Gibson was again the most fearsome performer.
2 strikes and a ball.
He pitched 13 shutouts, won 22 games, and registered the lowest ERA in the history of his league, 1.12.
Standing ovation for Bob Gibson. He has just tied a World Series record.
Left-hander Grant Wolfram will come on, 5.40 ERA in 26 innings. Set to face Ellis. Corona, then back to the top of the order with Wells. Nothing your score. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, where there are no extra innings here in spring training baseball. Pitch on the way is off the plate wide called for a wide strike. It's 0-1. You can, if you decide to go extra innings prior to the game starting, you can agree to do that. I've not seen them do that. That was something that was implemented right after the pandemic season, is the 0-1 swing and miss. It's 0-2. They were just trying to basically get rid of all the extra innings in spring training games, which mean nothing, to conserve arms, but they did leave it open as the 0-2 pitch, swing, slaps it back foul, 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour off the edge, do it again. The idea behind it was if a manager decided that he wanted to get a look at somebody, et cetera, he would do it. But the managers these days, I mean, they're pretty much told who's going to pitch and when, especially in these spring training games, the 0-2. Right there, first strike, strike 3. Got him on the outer edge, kind of a half-hearted check swing to ring him up. First pitch on the way is right there for a strike, floats it into Corona, lefty-righty matchup. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Brings it, slaps it back foul, it's 0-2. You just don't see it implemented in that way, where a manager goes into a game nowadays and says, hey, I really want to see so-and-so pitch if there's an extra innings. Is the 0-2 outside wide? Because they have to decide it before the game ever starts. So with that being said, no manager's going to... You might get towards the end of the game and say, man, I'd really like to get a look at this kid. But you have to decide it before the game ever begins. The 1-2 pitch, swing, rips it back foul, do it again. And there's not there used to be quite a bit of a price tag put on these spring training games where managers felt like it was their only way to get looks at guys, but nowadays, because of all the technology and all the stadiums that have the spring training stadiums that have the extra facilities, is the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him chasing down and in on the slider, 2 down. You just don't see it anymore. instance, the Braves facility, which we plan on going and seeing in the near future, spring training, first ever trip down there for me. They've got 3 backfields that they can do whatever they want to on, even when a game is being played. First pitch to Sanchez, down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup to 1-0. Swing. Bangs it back foul. It's 1-0. If y'all missed the news, so ESPN lost the rights to Sunday Night Baseball. It's the 1-1 pitch. Swing. Down and in. 1-2. That's not going to be on Peacock, but they announced, I think yesterday, and this is not the flex they think it is, they announced yesterday that Sunday is going to be what they're calling Women's Sports Day. One of the biggest problems they have there is that the WNBA may not have a season. The 1-2 count, swing and a miss, strike 3. So how about that? Comes in and strikes out the side. Wolfram gets him 1-2-3. We'll be back in a flash. Orioles grab the sticks when we return here in the Grapefruit League.
A messy Dollar General. That's what you look like. Oh.
Sometimes I get sent out with a shopping list and my wife's like, do you want me to explain that to you? And I'm like, I think I can handle it. And then I get to the grocery store and I'm like, what is a shallot? You know what I'm saying? How many avocados is avocados? Like if I mess that up, are we going to be eating guacamole for the next week? Apples, cinnamon, tomato sauce, dill weed. What aisle is that in? Milk. That's way too vague. Okay, in my house, we go through stuff like oat milk, soy milk, rice milk, coconut milk, almond milk, every kind of milk. The only kind of milk we don't drink is milk. Okay, I don't even know what milk tastes like anymore. This is going to take me an hour and a half to find all this stuff. I should have asked more questions.
I remember the 1968 World Series. I was 16 years old. Game 1, when he struck out the 17 Tigers, you could feel his purpose burn through a television screen from St. Louis to your living room on Long Island. In a sport that isn't supposed to manifest that degree of outward emotion, he was actually fearsome.
Just think, he's accounted for 16 of the putouts all by himself. He got it! Struck him out! A new world record of 17 strikeouts in one game.
Bob Gibson is the only pitcher to win 7 consecutive World Series starts, each of them a complete game.
And when the game was over, Gibson in the clubhouse was like no other pitcher I've ever seen. The reporters gathered around and someone said, "Were you surprised by what you did today?" And Gibson said, "I'm never surprised by anything I do."
Welcome back. Hervin Castro, spelt like Kevin, but you put an R right before the V, is on for the Yankees, a 1.53 ERA, 47 innings, 104 whip. Hervin starts Rushman off with a strike. It's 0-1. Rushman, who's 1 for 1 on the day, digs in, the pitch on the way, chopped in front of the mound. Jumping on it is Castro. He'll flip it down to first. 1-3 in your scorecard. 1 away. First pitch, the bat for Kierstad, who's in. Righty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Takes the pitch outside wide. It's 1-0. What I haven't figured out, or maybe they haven't announced it, is who is actually broadcasting that as the 1-0. Down and in, 2-0. We've got Bob Costas and Mike Tirico on Peacock, but I do know they already said Tirico's not doing baseball. And I'm pretty sure that I heard that Costas is going to be doing the in-studio. So if he's not doing the play-by-play, there's no telling what he is. Probably can't be as bad as ESPN, no matter what they do. 2-1 count. Pitch on the way. Floats a kind of a flat curveball up there. Misses high for ball 3-1. Wind still pushing out towards center field, right center field. Doesn't look nearly as gusty as it was at the beginning of the game. Good to see you, Robert. See, I thought I saw Richard Talley earlier, so just in case. See if I missed anybody else slipping in here. IAG. They're going to challenge that. And I don't know why. That is a bad challenge. That pitch was way out of the zone. And they will confirm that it's now 3-1. So if my math's right on that, they are out of challenges. 3-1 count. Pitch from Curvin is swung on and sliced back foul. 3-2. Nobody on, 1 out, and a 0-0 tie here in the bottom of the 5th. Baltimore and the Yankees. Cubs and White Sox next at 3 o'clock here on the BCR. And then tomorrow, the Braves start their campaign. 12:45 will come on the air as the pitch on the way is down and in. Ball 4, and he'll head on down to first. Righty-righty matchup now as Mayo digs in, the number 8 hitter. Manning the Keystone corner today. Takes one there at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-0. Took me forever to find that tournament. They're in Texas. Florida State leads Michigan 6-0. This should shock nobody because it's Michigan and Florida, 2 states nowhere near Texas, and there doesn't appear to be too many people in the stands. So what are they? I don't understand what the reasoning for this tournament is. Two-1 count. Swing, rips it up the middle. It's going to be a 6, 4, 3. Double play. The Yankees get out of the trouble. We go to the 6th inning. Still nothing but goose eggs on the board. We'll be back in a flash. Yankees grab the bats when we return.
Why would my own brain try to ruin my own day? Like, whose side are you on?
So the Irish invented Halloween, as we all know. We also invented St. Patrick's Day and calling in sick to work after you've been drinking. All the best holidays come from us. Yesterday I carved a pumpkin for Halloween and a lot of Irish people got pissed off at me. Oh, that's what the Americans do. He's a Yankee Doodle now. It's traditional for the Irish to carve turnips. I'm not gonna do it. They're terrifying. The pumpkin is mischievous. He's cheeky. At worst, maybe gets into a few shenanigans. I don't care if it's Gaelic pagan tradition. I need to sleep at night. The Americans are right about this. I'm giving it to them. This and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups were good ideas.
Suspect can't keep a man for over 3 months.
Suspect runs like a 10-year-old girl.
What? No, I don't. Suspect thinks she's bougie, but she really don't have the money to be bougie.
Suspect can't go stay with friends because he's such a mama's boy.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't tell me what to do.
How many clubs do you have to wonder will pursue Greg Maddux?
They brought us in a room and put us all around a table. And Ted Turner, the owner of the Atlanta Braves, he come in and go, well, now, fellas, he goes, we got one big bullet to shoot, you know. And we're all sitting there going, yeah, that means one free agent to sign one big contract. And they said either Maddux or Bonds. And, of course, they asked me, and I said, well, I'm going to take Maddux. I'm a pitching coach, for crying out loud. It came down to Bobby Cox.
Just Maddux.
Bobby said if we added him to the starting rotation that we already had in place, we'd never have a losing streak.
Other teams started jumping in. The Yankees seemed to be the favorite at one point. They came in with the most money, as the Yankees will.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Jose Espada coming in for the Baltimore Orioles, the right-hander. Limited work last year, just one game. Put up zeros. Espada, first pitch on the way, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Right there, P at the knees. Did not get the call. 1-1. One count. Spada kicks and fires. Swing! That ball's lifted high and deep into right center field. Coming over, fighting the wind and calling off the right fielder, O'Neill. Making the catch out there for a loud out number 1 is the center fielder who is in for the game now for Cowser. That was Bradfield Jr. One away. Trimble's in for O'Neill. Huff is in for Barrero. Robertson in for Kierstad. Butterworth is at third. In for Mayo. That's a heck of a name combo with the third baseman today. Mayo and Butterworth. The 0-1. Swing. Fouls it back. 0-2. We got to get someone out there on that infield defense, the nickname of Pancake, and they'll be in business. Barrero in for Henderson. See if the Yankees have made any moves. This is usually about the time we start seeing it throughout the 0-2. Right there up top. Shoemake with the Yankees. Remember the ex-Atlanta Brave that was traded away a few seasons ago. He's into play short now. And short is into play second base. Jazz Chisholm out of the game. And Ellis is in for Rosario at third as the 0-2's chopped back foul. Shoemake standing at the plate. Righty-lefty matchup. The 0-2. Swing, slices it back, foul, do it again. Shoemake was always a very good defender for the Braves down in the minor leagues. But he always struggled at the plate. Hit right-handers pretty well, but overall just was not major league worthy. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. You want to know how much he struggled at home plate? Realize Orlando Arcia continued to keep him from coming up That's how bad it was. Righty-righty matchup now is Short. Takes the first pitch. Breaking ball right there at the knees. Called for a strike. It's 0-1. 1 in the dirt. Good block, 1-1. One count. Cubs and White Sox coming your way, top of the hour. Pitch up top, misses high. 2-1. Zach Short. Most of y'all will remember him from 2024 with the Braves. 2-1 in the dirt, 3-1. So he is in to play second right now with Shoemake at short. So 2 Braves up the middle for the Yankees. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 3-2, full count. Payoff pitch. Caught looking, strike 3. Dropped a teardrop right there at the knees, and that'll end the inning. Yankees go down 1-2-3. We'll be back in a flash. Orioles grab the sticks. Bottom of the 6th we go.
She don't hear half the that I tell her, you know.
Yeah, because the way you talk is stupid.
Well, if you don't hear it, how do you know it's stupid?
Suspect seen running since the first time she was 12.
Suspect had so many boyfriends in high school that we mixed up their names.
Suspect can't go in public without sharding.
Suspect is 23 and still sleeps with the bubby.
His name's Buddy. Suspect's daughters have to buy her sneaker balls for Christmas because her feet stink.
Oh, that's private!
Hey, I don't know if y'all knew this already, but stopping to get gas in the morning on the way to work instead of doing it the night before is probably one of the worst decisions you can make as a fully grown adult.
Are we the only family in America that has this drawer full of cheese that never fully gets used and they just mold because you buy more cheese thinking that you need cheese whenever you have a whole drawer full of cheese?
Other teams started jumping in. The Yankees seemed to be the favorite at one point. They came in with the most money, as the Yankees will.
The Yankees looked like they were going to win the bidding. In fact, they did win the bidding.
Yeah, went to New York and thought I was going to be a Yankee.
But there's one thing nagging him. Greg had only pitched in the National League and had this great institutional memory and knowledge of facing National League hitters.
It's more about where than how much at the time. I knew the National League. I knew all the hitters. Atlanta had just went to the last 2 World Series. They had a good young staff. They were going to keep winning, and I wanted to be a part of it.
Greg's major goal of free agency and reaching it and pursuing it was to put himself in the best position to win a world championship.
And I asked Scott, I go, Scott, do your Scott and do the best you can for Atlanta. That's where I want to play. So I got on the plane, and by the time I landed in Vegas, 3 hours later, I had a deal with the Braves.
Nothing your score. Bottom of the 6th we go. No runs, 1 hit for the Yankees. No runs, 4 hits, no errors. The Orioles, Yankees left 3 on base. Orioles left 2 on base. And we get our first pitch comm error. As they're seeing if the new one that they've given right-hander on the bump. The New York Yankees, Hanner, as he comes into the game, getting everything squared away. Nothing your score. Righty matchup. First pitch on the way, down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Jackson at the plate, top of the order due up. swung on, banged into right field. That's through for a base hit. And it's a leadoff single for the Birds. Newly acquired Murakami, the Japanese league, is in the lineup for today for the Chicago White Sox, so we'll see him at the top of the hour. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way, swung on, chopped foul. Barrero in for Henderson. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Comes set. Kicks and fires. Inside. Curveball. Almost got a piece of him. 1-1. 1-1 count. Runner at first. Nobody out. Standing on deck is Pete Alonso. The 1-1 pitch is slapped back foul, 92-mile-an-hour sinker. Runner was on the go. He'll retreat back to first, 1-2. One-two count. Hanner looking in. Comes set and flips one up there, right there. Man, that looked like that was a strike. Doesn't look like they're going to challenge it, but it was right there in the zone. Yankees should still have a challenge left. Hanner with a 4.75 ERA in AAA last year is the 2-2. Bang, right there for a strike on the outer edge. He finally got the strike he was looking for. Caught looking on the outer edge. One down. 1 on, 1 out. Pete Alonso, the polar bear, coming to the plate. And speaking of the polar bear, I'm going to miss the Big Zoo's home run thing clip that we always use. The pitch on the way to Alonso. Speaking of that, he clocks one deep into left field, and that baby is gone. A 2-run shot, and the Baltimore Orioles have taken a 2-0 lead. Holy Toledo, that ball was absolutely smoked. 2-run home run. And hello, Mr. Alonso into Baltimore. Looking to see if we still have that ground set. Oh, we do. Polar bear. Give him a once for. Pitch is swung on and popped back foul. I still cannot believe that the Mets let him go. I thought for sure he'd find his way back, but the general manager there that came over from Milwaukee, he has never valued Pete Alonso, and I guess a lot of it's got to do with the defense. But man, that was a filthy 1-2 combo, having him and Soto back-to-back in the lineup. As the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. That ball was put on a tee for Alonso. He'd roll out of bed and slap that thing against the wall. I mean, that ball was right down the heart of the plate. The 2-2 count. just misses off the edge. Full count. Taking a look at the Chicago Cubs lineup. They do have Suzuki and Bregman in the lineup today, along with McCormick. There's a 3-2 pitch, swing, laces it down the left field line. That ball's going to get down where the green grass grows up against the wall, and it's a one-out double for the Orioles. But finally some offense going here. One on, one out, runner at second in scoring position. Baltimore already with 2 across with a 2-0 lead. Huff is going to come in to pinch run. Hanner, 14 pitches into the innings, already given up 2 runs. He's only recorded 1 out. Reed Trimble, the batter, righty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way, right there on the outer edge. It's on 1. It's interesting. They have Bregman up at the number 2 spot, so you don't know if that's more things to come as the 0-1 pitch is popped up into center field, running in, making the jogging catch for out number 2. Had to come in a little bit, but catch easily made by Martin, who's in for Corona. Ricky Bradfield Jr. standing at the plate. First pitch on the way is right there at the knees. They're going to call that one low. It's 1-0. I propose a ban on juniors in sports if your father has not been famous in said sport. 1-0 count. Pitch down and in. 2-0. The really weird one is where you get the senior. You get a kid in college, call himself senior. Like, dude, all you're telling us is you made some bad decisions as a young man. Runner at second, 2 outs, so he'll be going at the crack of the bat. The 2-0 pitch from Hanner. Looking in, flips it up there. Misses high, ball 3-0. 3-0 count. Adley Rushman standing on deck. The 3-0. Outside wide, ball 4, so he'll head on down to first. First and second and 2 outs. After a quick mound visit, 2 on, 2 outs. Orioles leading by 2, both scored here in the 6th inning. So Deuces Wild and Adley Rushman. Hard-hitting catcher comes to the plate. He's at the DH role today. The first pitch drops a curveball there at the knees. It's 0-1. You go 1. Swing, bangs it down the first base line. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. I'm really starting to wonder if they're using well, they're showing it in the background. It just doesn't appear that they're staying on top of the pitch clock second half of this game. The 0-2 pitch. Misses high and out of the zone, 1-2. One-two count. 1-2 pops it up. High in the sky. Shallow. Left field. Foul territory. Making the running catch. F7 in your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. We are going to go ahead and head over to the Cubs-White Sox game as we are finishing 6 here. Orioles 2, Yankees nothing. So we got quite a few radio stations that are picking up that game, so we're going to head over to White Sox Cubs. We'll start it off with the 7th inning stretch when we get that fired up.